Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for joining me today. So we are at St Herman's cave. I think I'm saying that right. Herman, I don't know. St somebody's cave. So I'm told, again, a moderate hike. Trail looks really good right now. We're, I think, 15 minutes to the mouth of the cave, and then we're gonna take a self-guided tour through there. So should be pretty exciting. The pictures look great on the internet, but they always do. So here's what the start of the path looks like. Today's a little bit hotter than when I went hiking last time, but I am higher in the mountains and it's definitely not nearly as humid, so shouldn't kill me this time. Now the Highland Trail is the one that's moderate but with better views. So screw it. Let's go. Let's sweat some Cheetos off. Okay, I changed my mind. Let's turn around. Well, this is super cool already. When I was leaving the US to come down here, I was looking at all of my GoPro mounts, and I have a chest mount and a head mount that I really have never used. I used them once in Hawaii back in 2016 or whenever I was there last. I've never used them since. So I thought, well, you know, they don't fit in my camera case. I'll leave them behind, but this probably would have been a perfect time to wear a head mount. That way you guys can see everything I look at every time I turn my head. If you see any boas, holler. I decided I want a pet boa. What better place to get one than in the wild, right? They always just say you can take the like the lion or the tiger or the wolf out of the wild, but you can't take the wild out of the wolf. I didn't hear that about a boa yet, so I'm gonna catch a boa. Take him home with me. So I got educated on these after I posted my last video. Shout out to my sister for that. These are called leafcutter ants. And apparently they are a tropical ant that's called a farmer ant. And they collect all these leaves. I mean, they're climbing way up that tree to get them. You won't be able to see it in the camera, but I mean, way up there to bring these leaves back down. And they're coming across, again, same thing, you can see the highway here, through there, and that's their ant hole right there. So, I guess they take these leaves, let me slip in the mud and fall. They take these leaves and they grow mushrooms or something on them, some sort of fungus. And that's kind of their food source. So this is coming out of the same hole, but going to a different tree now. So they have a hierarchy, I guess. I mean, all species do, of course. So the cutter ants, they work for a while, going up and cutting the leaves, and then when they get too tired to cut, they retire and start becoming the carrier ants, and they carry the leaves back. And then you'll see some other ants on the leaves that are being carried, and I guess they clean the ant and the leaf because there's some sort of beetle that comes down, and I think it's called a decapitation beetle that comes down and eats the ants while they're carrying the leaf. So those other ants kind of clean it so it doesn't attract those beetles, and then they protect it from the beetles. So that was pretty cool. So thank you, Dorian, for showing me that. Over here getting my workout again, my moderate hike. Well, they went all out on this rest area and built a full-on table. From where you are standing, you can see the rugged limestone landscape of steep hills filled with sinkholes, stone arches, underground streams, and caves. Here at an elevation of approximately 311 feet, and within the foothills, the Mayan Mountains, massive. And the great country of Belize. This is Cayo. That's where I'm staying, is almost where the guy's head is. So these caves are actually pretty close to where I'm staying. I think it took me 25 minutes to get here, maybe only 20. Here's the view that they're talking about. All those are cornfields down there. On the far end of the valley is, they just say citrus orchards. So I guess they grow mostly limes, some lemons. Then you can see the mountains there, and of course this big one here. And once again, I sprayed bug spray, but I think they like it. Even when I was a kid swatting mosquitoes off myself when I was up in the mountains, I always thought DEET attracted mosquitoes more than it got rid of them. Just overall seems ineffective. This is, of course, the longer trail to where I'm going. There's more flowers to stop and smell along the way, though, and really that's the point, isn't it? To stop and smell the flowers. The jungle is very dense. Like, you can kind of see how shaded it is. Even looking up, it's not very bright at all. But there are no clouds. This is full-on sunshine, and this is thick enough that in some spots it comes through, but for the most part it's all just shaded. And that's where the lower trail is. So if you're walking down there, it is a shorter walk by probably only a couple minutes, but you're going to be in the sun a lot more than you would be up here. Even though this is the harder, longer trail, it's definitely the one I would recommend. If you're able to do it, walk up here. The initial climb was pretty steep, but and it's been pretty easy since then. There was one area that was steep right there where I was talking about the leafcutter ants. There were some stairs like this. And with as wet as it is, the stairs are pretty slippery. So stay on the mud, not the wood. You'll fall right off the wood. And then they have ropes here for you to hold on to. Boy, look at that. That almost looks man-made. I mean, it's not, but just look at the way the rock moves. That is super cool. It's definitely very wet. Very, very wet. Trying to hold the camera with one hand, hold the ropes with the other, and swat at mosquitoes with my third hand. It's making for an exciting climb here, or descent, I guess. Boy, this one just gets you to it right away if you're coming back and want to take this trail. It's just... Oh, this is the lower trail. And like I was saying, it's full sunlight out here. But you can tell looking that way, I mean, that just goes right uphill. Get you into the steep immediately. So I just walked into this little alcove. You can see right there where I came out of the sunlight and into the trees again, into the jungle. And the temperature dropped like 25 degrees. That's exaggerating. It was noticeable, very noticeable though. And they have a sign there that says, "Stop, did you feel the temperature change? It's because you've made it to the cave." And the closer I get, the more it drops. I think now it's almost definitely come down 20 degrees. Almost to the point where I want to put a jacket on. Things to bring with you when you go for caves. It seems dumb that they have to tell you this, but obviously there's no light in a cave, so the bottom two always bother me. And again, I hate that they have to say it, right? You came to enjoy this natural phenomenon, and you get to enjoy it because everybody else took care of it. So why wouldn't you just naturally take care of it? Just keep your trash in your pocket. Don't break rocks off. Don't carve your name in things. If any of you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you heard me go on a rant when I was at a reservoir in Montana about the same thing. I just don't get it. I'm pretty sure most people don't just throw things around their house, right? You get done with something, you put it in the trash, put it back away. Why is it any different when you go out in nature? And here is the cave. And it is definitely moist. Like you can see it in the air. I need a nebulizer. Grab my flashlight here. You can see the moisture in the air. That's how wet it is. Alright, and now to get down without falling. These steps are cement as you come in. And very steep. I don't want to use the word uneven, but they're definitely not even. So you can tell as you get into the cave, here's where the sunlight comes in and it stops, and you absolutely need a source of light. You can see these white, these are reflectors to help you find the trail. It goes along the edge of the cave here. And this is down deeper into the cave. And as caves always have, some sort of running water in them. Or typically have. This is very crystal clear water. Turn the intensity down on my light, and you guys may not be able to see as well. Or at all. Alright, so I made it down the staircase. It's a little tricky right here. For whatever reason, oh, it looks like the step broke off. Okay, that makes sense now that I can see it from here. I was gonna say the railing just jets out and you have to climb around it, but yeah, so that's creative. This is from the floor of the cave looking out the mouth. I would say the roof is a good 20 feet above me. This is a very big cave. It's limestone, so it's not volcanic. This was just probably an aquifer at one point. I have no idea. The floor is pretty muddy, and again, a lot of visible moisture. Although it doesn't feel it as much as I thought I would when I breathe. It doesn't feel as moist. Oh, there's a bat. Probably doesn't like my light very much. So on the map it showed a cave entrance, cave exit. The forestry employee was telling me that I could walk the trail until I get to a sign that says do not enter, and then I have to stop and turn around. So we'll see if this is a one way in, one way out. This definitely appears like people have gone down there. I don't know if you're really technically allowed to. Back to my earlier rant, but I don't think you're going to damage anything if you walk down here. You could get right down there to the river. The path does go this way, and a sign there that says don't go down. I'm not real sure what causes all this reflective up here. Obviously mineral deposits, but I don't know what kind. That's some sort of side cave there that you can't get to. Even if you had a ladder, I mean, you'd have to have a huge ladder. That's probably 25 feet from there to there. And while I'm sure on the GoPro it already seems very dark in here, if I turn my light off, you'll be able to tell there is no light, except for back here at the entrance. You can see the light in the distance. Try and keep the camera lined up with the flashlight here. I was hoping for some more crystalline formations, stalactite and stalagmites. You saw the ones there at the beginning, but there's really nothing back here. The ceiling, the roof does seem pretty solid. Doesn't look like there's any moisture or anything coming down from it. And obviously we need water running in order to form stalactites and stalagmites. And I don't see any. So that's why there's no crystalline formations. It does very much appear to be like a sandstone. I mean, it's limestone for sure, but you can tell it's not a hard rock cave. And most of this looks like sediment flow that I'm walking on. Alright, so we found a stalactite-mite combination. I also hear voices very distinctly. There was a tour van in the parking lot when I got here, so that's probably the tour. And this is where he said, I have to stop. An approved guide is required beyond this point. He kept telling me I was going to get lost. It's a tube. Where am I going to get lost? I wonder if they continue on the... well, I was going to say on the water, but they don't. There's a line right there, and they follow that line, guaranteed, back into the cave. Well, I guess this is it. I wonder what it costs to find a guide to take me past the sign. Well, I'm disappointed. Because really that's where the cave starts becoming a cave. Alright, well, I'm back out of the cave. There's the entrance again, and now the exit. There's another cave behind this called Crystal Cave. I don't know if I can get there from this trail or not. The map almost looked like you had to go through this cave to get to that one. I don't know. Oh yeah, here's a sign. Visitor Center or Jungle Trail. Let's see if this one's got a map. I stood there at the map looking before I came, thinking I should take a picture of it, but there was like 3 trails, so it wasn't really a point. And he said, "Oh, at every junction we have a map." Welcome to map. All right, let's go see if this Crystal Cave is anything worth looking at. Oh look, a map. So here's where I walked out of. This is a loop, so I'm supposing that's this part of the loop. And my guess is if it goes up that quickly, it's gonna look like that on both ends. So here's where we could have exited, and here's the other cave. Trails may be slippery. Nope, guaranteed they're slippery. Guaranteed. Somebody went for the full ride right here. Have a safe trip. See you next fall. Well, that was a highly motivated workout for nothing. The Crystal Cave is closed for repairs. So, currently, I walked up here for my health. Which isn't bad. It has a, excuse me, hell of a climb. Oh well. It's pretty out here. I know I keep saying that in like all of my videos, but it doesn't change it. It is very pretty. So this is the lower trail, and definitely a different experience than the upper trail that I used when I walked out here on. In fact, there's buildings here that I didn't see when I left, so definitely a different trail and significantly shorter. It was a good experience. I did fall once. I didn't get on camera, I'm sorry. But definitely enjoyed it, had a lot of fun. Wish I could have seen more of the cave, but maybe next time. Seems like a very unfortunate name for a tree. I'm sure it was probably named in a different language and that was the translation of it. So I came over here to the Blue Hole. I guess it's a cenote that has the same water system as the cave. Also, I guess this cave is the second largest cave system in Belize, which is 2,500 feet long, so not extremely large, but it's a small country, so. Let's see. Blue Hole. Changing rooms. Let's go see what it looks like and then we'll decide if we want to swim or not. This is it, huh? Water is definitely very clear and blue. And cold. It's probably 65 degrees. That's a cool little area though. And although the water system is probably the same system as the one in the cave, like they said, you are definitely not riding an inner tube from here to there. That certainly didn't happen. That probably goes to the cave back there. So if you come over behind this restroom changing area, there's like this path that goes through the jungle. There's no signs. A definite trail though. There's a sign over here that says Hummingbird Loop. And another trail. So I kind of wonder if this is both ends of the loop. There's no map, it doesn't say where it goes. It just says if you're in really good shape, you should be able to walk 0.8 miles in 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure they have somebody walk 0.8 miles on a sidewalk through a park, and then they write down however long that took and just assume you should be able to do the same thing following these. Yeah, that's like I thought it was. Just a trail on a circle through the jungle, which I'm sure it's a pretty jungle. I'm also pretty confident it looks just like the one I just walked around in for an hour and a half. So we're gonna pass on that. In the meantime, I'm just gonna sign off for now, and I'll pick you guys up on the journey later on. If I do something exciting today, I'll start again. If not, I'll say goodbye here. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you later.